Ready to go for a final time. The Pac-12 Women's Championship is underway.
One of the things early on to keep an eye on is how does Stanford guard Juju Watkins? How does anyone guard Juju Watkins?
Bozgana on her defensively. Watkins turns back to her left.
One thing everyone tries to do is force Juju Watkins left.
Gives it up, finds a teammate. McKenzie Forbes buries a three to get things going for SC.
Great job by Juju Watkins to facilitate there, going left, but seeing your teammate open in the right corner.
This is a very good passing team for Stanford. Cameron Brink trying a three. What did Tara Vanderveer tell you about an hour ago before the start of this game about Cameron Brink and threes?
She said, I want Cameron Brink getting the ball on the block.
Padilla, good shooter. In and out for three, and Ariapin's got the rebound.
And you see, as soon as Juju curled and got into the lane, there was every other Stanford defender there waiting for her. This could be a game where she has to have a little bit higher assist rate.
Bozgana knocks down a three. Juju.
Look at Stanford defensively in the paint. And they're okay with that shot.
Thrown back out top. Forbes tracks it down. Wide open look. Padilla. Mentioned she's a good shooter. 44% on the season for the grad transfer from Penn. Brink is an outstanding passer, but she gets called for a foul here, trying to set the screen on Padilla.
Tara Vanderveer, hard and fast rule with her bigs. You pick up a first foul in the first quarter, you come out, and that's a big loss for Stanford defensively without Brink on the floor.
Brooke Dimitri comes into the game. Brink is the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year for a third straight year, but she's on the bench now. Forbes, the kick to the corner. Padilla, another wide open three. It's a three-point contest so far here in Vegas.
Again, because of the way Stanford is focusing on taking away the paint and taking away Juju.
Back out to the middle. Here's one of the nerds, McKenzie Forbes, who was a star at Harvard. She goes in for two.
I mean, we talked about it in the open. Juju Watkins, when these teams met in the regular season, scored 76% of the points. And her teammates have just come up in a big way here defensively, but also on the offensive end early.
On the drive, Marshall gets the roll. Great start for USC here in Vegas. Brink getting ready to come back into the game here in the first quarter.
Rayah Marshall has a tougher time and had a tougher time in the first meeting scoring on the length of Cameron Brink, and that time she smartly took it right at the basket and able to finish.
Lopolo back off to Ariapin. Finally finds the range.
Just continues to improve at such a high ceiling.
In her Pac-12 tournament history, 5 games before this year, she had scored a grand total of 8 points. Forbes, well, it's all nerds right now, and Forbes showing off a little bit after the hoop.
I tell you what, the USC has impressed me so much with their toughness, their mental toughness this season, their physical toughness as well, and that was tough. By Kiki Ariapin. Look at this, you're sending two, so there's going to be someone open. Yes, the extra pass.
Padilla off the mark, and Ariapin's got the rebound. Back behind the play is Dimitri, not even coming back across half court. Don't know if she was injured or just tired, because it's been an extended run without a stoppage, and USC has their legs.
This is a fast-paced game, though. You have a number of players who've been waiting to come in and check in for the last minute plus, but there hasn't been a whistle.
Ariapin getting hot now after those early misses. One thing that has summed up this league this year throughout the regular season is toughness. Every game has been a battle, so intensity like this, uninterrupted play like this, something that they're used to, and fighting is something that USC, they fight on and on. Juju shot 54% from the field. The rest of the team shot 18%. Rest of the team on right now against Stanford.
She's been the most impactful player on the court just by how she is completely morphing the defense and the way that Stanford is guarding.
Nunu Aguirre into the game for Stanford. Janiyah Harriel as well. Cameron Brink back out there, and a steal. Turnover number 5 already for Stanford. USC has made Stanford pay on the previous 4 turnovers, scoring 10 points. Davis on the turnaround. Another one drops. That's Caitlin Davis with 4.
Great patience and toughness. Got the ball, assessed, looked to see if a double was going to come, and if it did, she would pass it. It never did, so she took the easy one.
Well, Cameron Brink is a shooter, and she wants to let Tara Vanderveer know, I can knock down 3. Takes it at Brink, a little too strong. The putback, no. Davis with another second chance. And the spin to the left, no. USC doing a great job on the glass, but an offensive foul. No basket.
But that's toughness. That's the toughness that USC has shown all season long. None of their players, in particular their bigs, are going to back down inside.
Here's Harriel, played 4 minutes in the semifinal game against Oregon State. Dimitri. About 4 seconds or so between shot clock and game clock, so Stanford in no hurry at the moment. Dimitri for Iriafen. Iriafen double, in trouble. Harriel in amongst the trees for 2.
Really nice pass by Iriafen because that was a tough double that came.
Juju from half court just off the mark. So Juju did not score in the first quarter, but Lindsay Gottlieb's team had a great first quarter.
And we're not used to seeing Juju Watkins held scoreless, but I think she's making really good decisions. When you're drawing as much attention as she's drawing on the defensive end, she's made the right passes. She hasn't forced much. It'll really be beneficial if she can get out and transition because that's where she can really thrive.
There's a 3 again. Stanford continues to fill it up. They are 4 for 4 from outside the 3-point line. And Stanford, after falling behind by 10, is within 2. Davis. That won't drop. USC's been doing a great job on the glass so far. Brink looking for a call, did not get it. Iriafen wants to go to work with Brink. Brink from inside the 3-point arc. Eric Freed, Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo, and Holly Rowe here with you in Las Vegas. Second quarter of the final Pac-12 championship game. USC and Stanford. USC built up a 10-point lead in the first quarter, and they've done it here so far without Juju Watkins, the amazing freshman for USC, scoring a point, but Rebecca Lobo, she's been a difference maker in other ways.
She has had to be a facilitator. Stanford's defense, as you see Brink take another mid-range shot, Stanford's defense has been geared towards limiting Juju Watkins, and they've been able to do it.
Sipa's Ghana right over Watkins. Now Watkins through traffic with the left. No, but there's the follow-up by Rayah Marshall. Great start for those in the supporting cast around Juju Watkins. That included McKenzie Forbes, who scored 10 points in the first quarter. Stanford has been effective from outside the 3-point line, shot themselves back into the game, and now Cameron Brink on the inside trying to tie it up. It's been a physical game, Rebecca, not a lot of whistles so far.
Yeah, but really physical game for both the teams, and neither has gone to the free throw line.
Now a foul is called on the pass on Lopolo.
Well, we certainly expected an adjustment from Stanford defensively. The first time they played USC, Juju Watkins had 51 points. Stanford played pretty much straight up man-to-man, just in drop coverage. They've completely changed what they're doing. They're clogging the paint, and it's been the others who have kept USC in this game so far. And Stanford had shot really well from the perimeter, which we would expect, and they've started to look inside, in particular the last few possessions as well.
Kayla Williams on the floor as Watkins goes to the bench as we approach the 5-minute media timeout. Forbes goes down in trouble. sticks with it, and Williams off the window for 2. Scored 4 points against UCLA in that double overtime thriller here on Friday night. 4 points in the quarterfinals, so a spark off the bench again for USC. Iriafen wants it back. Lopolo down to 7 on the shot clock. Back to Iriafen. Most improved player in the Pac-12. Knocks it down from outside.
That's tough. And she was open early in the possession on the left block, calling for the basketball. They didn't get it into her instead of showing frustration. Hits a big one there as the shot clock goes down. Now Stanford, without Juju in the game, can just play normal man-to-man defense.
There is the Juju defense, and then there's your standard defense. How about this impact off the bench? Everyone is contributing for USC in a game where Juju hasn't scored yet. And now a foul's going to be called on Stanford. Iriafen just picked up her second.
It really is remarkable, the work that USC has done on the glass. Great pass out.
What an impact by Kayla Williams off the bench.
Really nice unselfish basketball.
Brink puts it on the ground and drives for 2 and a chance for a 3-point play.
And she's kind of shown everything that she has on the offensive end. Has hit a couple of threes. We've seen her drive, reverse pivot, and hit mid-range shots.
And an outstanding free throw shooter to boot.
Yeah.
Just going down the
Didn't
list.
used to be.
No. She's improved that part of her game. So the end one for Brink. She's into double figures now with 11, 4 of 6 from the field, including 2 3-pointers made. Brink there defensively. We just talked about the top shot blocker in Division I, denying that attempt. Worked in quickly. Iriafen. No. Good work on the boards by Marshall. Marshall had 26 rebounds in the first 2 games of this tournament.
Just living on her right hand, forcing Juju left or trying to do so.
Now Juju left, right, and then a block. What a play by Brink, denying Watkins. Clardy back the other way for the Cardinal.
Did we mention Cameron Brink blocking shots?
I have a feeling we're going to keep mentioning it. Denied Watkins that trip. And now Brink looking for the assists. Won't get it, but a trip to the free throw line. 3.4 blocks per game, number 1 in Division I.
Hard when you are a scorer who is used to scoring and sometimes having your way in terms of the shots that you get. To have, a day like today, she's 0 for 5. So much of the defensive attention is on her, and she's a freshman. So is this going to be something that frustrates her, or is she going to be able to continue to kind of absorb it and find her open teammates?
And she had a nasty ankle turn on Friday. Fought through it that entire game, leading USC to a victory over UCLA. Stayed off the ankle for the most part yesterday, so you wonder if that has an impact. She seems fine. She has looked fine in pregame and in this game.
I think it's more Stanford's ankles and arms and the rest of them that are having an impact. But yeah, fair point.
Forbes was hot early, not this time. Flying in for the rebound. USC's been very active and strong on the glass. And they get a second chance out of it.
And it's fair to say that it is harder to box out with the way Stanford's kind of helping off some of their big players, and USC is taking advantage. That's their 10th offensive board. Stanford has none.
USC is a +9 in rebounding margin as well. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Forbes now with a team-high 12. Watkins was inside. A lot of contact. It's Brink who comes up with it and gets the 2.
2 offensive boards for Stanford on that possession, their first 2 of the game.
Watkins behind the back, tries to split defenders and was knocked down in the paint. Here's someone who has scored 801 points, the 4th freshman ever to reach the 800 mark. Closing in on Cheryl Miller's single-season scoring record. 2 free throws for Juju, and there's her first point. Holly.
Well, the reason they're leading in this game is McKenzie Forbes, and she's the most remarkable story you've ever heard. She went to Cal when Lindsay Gottlieb was her coach there, and Lindsay left to go to the NBA. She decided she would transfer to Harvard, but she missed the transfer deadline, so she went a year to a junior college, taking 6 classes a semester. She got into transfer a less than 1% transfer rate at Harvard, where she played 2 years, was a terrific player, got her sociology degree, and now she's playing at USC. Just one of the most resilient, smart, incredible women I've ever met in college basketball.
Thank you, Holly. Here comes Juju across half court. Juju again draws a crowd. Padilla, an open look for 3. Ghana with the rebound.
And certainly, Holly, McKenzie Forbes has been the driving force offensively for USC here in the first half.
Good catch by Dimitri. Forbes averaging 13 points a game. She's got 12 already for USC. And Padilla is fouled. These players who have to go find other homes when their eligibility expires in the Ivy League. And Lindsay Gottlieb, who went to Brown in the Ivy League, happy to scoop these 3 players up.
They bring experience, toughness. She talked too about how their maturity was so important surrounding a player like Juju, who is going to have the high efficiency use that Juju has, and their understanding of what their role is, even though it is much different. And yeah, back in November, December, she called them Juju and the Nerds. I think she's now transitioned to Juju and the Ivies.
Okay.
So
scoop inside, won't drop it. 4 on the shot clock, and here comes Juju. Shot clock is off. Final seconds of the half. Will Juju pull it back out? Iriapin came over to help, and now Padilla out towards midcourt. Down to 8. Here's Forbes. Forbes with 5. Forbes on the run. Yes, what a half for McKenzie Forbes. 14 points for the grad student from Folsom, California, and it's a strong first half for USC. They're on top by 9. Brink with 13, and the points off turnovers a plus 13 for USC. USC ball to start the second half. Adjustments here for these 2 teams going into the third quarter, Rebecca.
Well, eager to see in what ways that USC might be able to take advantage of what Stanford is doing defensively right now. Like Stanford just being physical with Juju. Hey, I like it. Involve your post players, because that's who Stanford is playing off of. Stanford forcing her left, not only limiting her attempts, but making her less comfortable than any team has made her all season long.
Ice cubes are usually good in the desert. They're bad here for what Juju's trying to do. Forbes with 4 on the shot clock. Soft touch from the baseline, beating the shot clock as Marshall. Jump, looks for Brink. Brink, nice quick move inside by Cam Brink.
She does a really nice job using her length, going from one side of the rim with a pivot to the other.
Forbes circles back out. A little closer in for Marshall, and she'll knock it down for 2. Iriapin tries to work on Davis, who gets called for the block.
Related to the ankle, I just think it's Stanford's swarming defense. And if you're Juju, you have to think, and we're up 11. You know, like, this is okay. It is okay sometimes to take on a different role as long as you're helping your team win.
Ghana with a finish for 2. First points of the second half for the junior. She's got 7. Previous foul on Forbes was her second. Here she is on the offensive end. Brink let the ball go, stuck with the body, and USC took advantage. Another offensive rebound and a fight inside. And a foul's going to be called, I think, on USC's Akwafu. Today, Juju's 0 for 5, and the rest of the team is shooting 49% combined from the field. It has flipped. Iriapin out of the timeout, can't hit. Here is Juju. Shows a good handle. Tough shot.
Wow.
Finally drops down. Her first field goal of the game. That 3 won't drop, and a rebound for Kayla Williams. To the hands of Juju. Good defensive play by Bozgana to get hands in there, and a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it with USC.
Number one thing is to force her to the left side, and she's been the one who's been tasked with that and understood the assignment and has executed it so well.
Forbes. Little fade away. McKenzie Forbes hits again. 7 of 12 from the field. Brink tries a 3, gets knocked down, and is slow to get back up. So numbers here for Juju if she hurries. And Juju knows how to hurry. Couldn't get it. Brink gets back into the play and gets the block. But called for the foul? No, it's called.
Kayla Davis called for the
Kayla
foul.
Davis. Thank you, Rebecca.
And
she can't believe it.
a great job again by USC, though, attacking the glass. Beautiful block.
404 career blocks for Cameron Brink, number 1, of course, all-time at Stanford. Came so close to a triple-double in the semifinals. 16 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. The block count will be kept by those gentlemen. Holly.
Well, Cameron Brink has a big decision to make. Nobody's sure if she's going to turn pro or not this season. And Tara Vanderveer tried to help her with that decision. They went and met with a professor at Stanford who specializes in decision making.
Here's Forbes. Spinning, tough shot. Bit of a force.
Shot clock did not reset.
So Forbes has to launch it. This is an easier look, and she knocks it down for 3. McKenzie Forbes having a day here in Vegas. On the drive, Bozgana, the gamble for the steal by Marshall went for naught. 16 offensive rebounds. Williams can't turn it into second chance points, though, and Iriafen has the rebound. USC is a plus 17, Rebecca, in rebound margin. Iriafen for 2. Inside of 90 seconds to go in the third quarter. Forbes leans in, and it's pinned up on the rim. Jump ball possession arrow will give it to Stanford. They've got 41 points on the board here late in the third quarter.
In particular, she didn't love the player's shot selection in that game. Thought they needed to get more touches into the post, just share the basketball a little bit more.
Dimitri, that looks good. It is good. Brooke Dimitri's first point. She is a shooter. 33rd, made 3 of the season. 7-0 run for Stanford to bring it within 9. Back into the hands of Forbes. Here's Juju. Bozgana on top of her again. Juju threw it inside, picked up by Brink. Clardy. Dimitri tries again. Not this time, and USC can hold for a final shot. Lindsay Gottlieb up on her feet, telling her team to put on the brakes. Hold for a final shot. It's been a good quarter. 9-point lead for USC. A chance to extend it here. Down to 7 for Juju. Juju off the dribble. Won't drop. Brink with the rebound. Thrown up to Clardy. And that one is off the mark at the buzzer. USC on top of Tara Vanderveer's Cardinal by 9. But USC hitting the boards and making the most of Stanford turnovers.
I mean, the second chance points is what's so remarkable to me. 14 for USC, only 2 for Stanford. USC out rebounding them by 17. They've almost doubled up Stanford on the glass.
And the offensive rebounds, to your point, 16 for USC, 4 for Stanford. Padilla to start the fourth with a 3.
Really well drawn up and executed play by USC to get Padilla the open look.
Clardy on the cross takes it at Juju. What a finish by Chloe Clardy, the freshman, taking it at the freshman for 2. Juju, 1 for 10 from the field. Iriafen there defensively to help out. Watkins deep three. That's a force. You can just tell the frustration.
Brink is certainly a competitor, and you saw her getting fired up a little bit there, trying to get her team fired up as well.
Brink was trying to get it to her fellow post, Ariafen, couldn't do it, and on the run for two is Forbes.
I mean, how good has McKenzie Forbes been?
How great has she been?
Fair.
17 points in the semifinal double overtime win against UCLA. 21 today. Ariafen with the answer. Padilla defended by Jump. And then Clardy jumps through to get the steal. In for two more. Tara Vanderveer looking for a spark, getting one from the freshman from Conway, Arkansas.
Yeah, Clardy with 4 points already here in only 8 minutes of play.
Hot pass from Marshall to handle. Back out top to Juju. Juju with the spin, hanging, and she'll go to the line for USC. Here's Juju. Scores 8 points a game on average from the free throw line. Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. Lindsay Gottlieb had no doubt that she'd be able to be a go here today after the ankle sprain on Friday, because she says Juju is as tough as they come. She's a winner. She has drawn so much attention from the rest of the Stanford Cardinal that it's opened up play for players like Forbes with 21 and Padilla with 11 and Marshall with 10. Jump just cannot get it going offensively here today, and USC's got the rebound. Forbes, transition three. Stay hot, Kenzie Forbes. 9 in the quarterfinals here, 17 in the semifinals, and she's upped it to 24 here in the championship game. Hannah Jump banks in a three. That's quite the way to get the first three of the game for Jump. Her 71st made three of the season, and finally she's on the board.
It's really hard to bank in a three. I know it wasn't on purpose, but that's not an easy thing to do. Well, Camila Cardoso, though, might say differently.
I was going to say, this is the bank three weekend of Champ Week. Oh, beautiful extra pass and a trip to the free throw line coming for Akawafu. It's an 11-point game, Holly.
Well, you can see there McKenzie Forbes' family is in the house. Both of her brothers, mom and dad, there in the middle. But the young man in the gray beanie is her older brother, Marcus. He actually plays for St. Mary's men's basketball team. He just got into town this afternoon because their tournament, as you just saw, is getting ready to start. He's the reason she decided to go to Harvard. He was already admitted to Harvard, playing there on the basketball team. And his sister said, if he can get into Harvard, maybe I can too. How about two siblings in the Forbes family getting into Harvard? They both transferred now to St. Mary's and to USC, and here they are in Vegas sharing this beautiful moment together.
Here is Hannah, defended by Forbes. Back outside, Brink. Can she get hot again from three? Yes. Cam Brink knocks down the three. That's her third of the game. First time in her career that she's had 3 threes in a game.
Clardy continues to just be really good and disruptive and energized on the defensive end for Stanford.
Clardy averages 10 minutes a game on the season, but she's got an extended run here in the second half. Trying to slow down Forbes. Watkins dribbles back out. Again, Bazgana on top of her. Padilla with 5 on the shot clock. On the drive, a little bit of an opening, and a finish by Davis. Watkins got a hand in on that pass, but it ends up with Jump. Ariafen. Good, tough move, can't get it. Brink with the putback, she's fouled. And the foul on Caitlin Davis is her 5th.
You see the numbers for Cameron Brink, but I want to go back to Davis for a second, because you mentioned the 7 boards. 5 of them were on the offensive end and really led the charge for USC in terms of their dominance with second chance points.
The Pac-12 Tournament Championship game. Brink off the mark, 10-point game. 2:45 to go in the fourth.
Yeah, Stanford's got to extend their pressure, try to be disruptive. They desperately need stops defensively.
Forbes to Padilla. Kept her balance before falling out of bounds. Forbes gets it back. Mid-range jumper won't drop for Forbes, and Iriafen has the rebound. So Stanford gets a stop. Can they convert on this end? Clardy has it blocked. Rejected by Marshall. And USC in front. Stanford had a 6-3 lead in the first half, but McKenzie Forbes went to work in the first quarter, and USC has led since early in the first quarter.
Stanford extending their pressure, but USC handling it beautifully. The clock is their friend right now.
Courtney Ogden into the game to try to disrupt defensively, and now Juju will dribble out of trouble. Cleared things out for Watkins, one-on-one with Iriafen with 5 on the shot clock. Kicks it back outside. Forbes. Nope. And the rebound for Ogden. Iriafen quickly into the front court. It has to happen quickly for Stanford. And Iriafen has 16. Trying to make it 2 wins in as many attempts against Stanford this season. And now Ogden has to come out and give a foul with 1:07 to go as jump comes onto the floor. Stanford could use a 3-point shooter, and Hannah Jump certainly qualifies.
Yes, Tara Vanderveer's been going defense.
Padilla at the free throw line, excellent free throw shooter at 75%. USC has been excellent at the line today. They keep it up. Perfect 10 for 10. Back to a 10-point lead. Stanford with the basketball. 1 minute to go in the title game. Iriafen on the turnaround off the window for 2. 18 points for Kiki. Here's the pressure in the backcourt, and a timeout called by Lindsay Gottlieb. Back for Juju, and Juju is fouled right away. But it was still an impactful day because of what Stanford tried to do to take her away, and that opened the door for players like McKenzie Forbes to step up for USC.
Yeah, certainly a very impactful afternoon, and here it's going to be important for Stanford to box out on the free throw line.
Watkins now with 7. Here's the push by Clardy. The handoff to Jump. 3 on the way. Little too strong. Out of the reach of Brink. And here's Padilla quickly into the front court. Juju calls for it. Juju in for 2. 11-point lead, and Watkins with the foul.
And USC has done a great job contesting shooters, making catches difficult on the perimeter.
Here's Ogden. Down to 30 seconds to go. And a steal. It's Forbes. Who else? The steal and score, and USC can't feel it. Attempt is off the mark, and then a turn. That's going to be against USC as Stanford empties out the bench here. Back out to Dimitri. On the pull-up, that's short. The rebound into the hands of Padilla. Off to Forbes across half court. And USC, Pac-12 champions in Las Vegas.
Stanford's game plan was to do their best to take away Juju Watkins and see if the rest of the USC Trojans could score enough to lead them to a Pac-12 championship, and the rest of the Trojans did just that. Juju Watkins' presence on the court allowed for that, and all of her teammates came through, in particular McKenzie Forbes. What an incredible performance by the grad student.
Forbes adds a little something to that history with an impressive championship performance
McKenzie Forbes with 26 points. USC Pac-12 champions. For Rebecca Lobo, Holly Rowe, and our entire crew, I'm Eric Freed. Thank you for being with us. Congratulations to Lindsay, Gottlieb, and the Trojans, Pac-12 champions.